Hello everyone and welcome to our fourth episode of the second season of our Masterclass Series. I'm Susan Paris and I work at Active Concepts Bureau in technical marketing. My colleague Rafael Tron illustrated the basics of hair biology in season 1. These included hair anatomy, the shape of the hair follicle that determines whether the hair is straight or curly, melanin, which determines the color of the hair, and hair growth. This episode will go into great details about hair growth, describing how it occurs and why it is so crucial for maintaining the health of our scalp and hair in addition to our overall look. We at Active Concepts are able to investigate whether our raw materials could enhance hair shaft elongation with the help of an in-vitro test known as the In-Vitro hair shaft elongation assay. Today we will explain this test purpose and methodology with the support of Grant Tyler, our R&D Product Development Manager, who you met in episode 2 for the intracellular calcium assay. And if not, you should definitely see that video afterwards. Grant, it's good to have you here. Could you briefly outline your professional background for us?
Sure. Well, hi, Susan. Thanks for having me. So I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill with a degree in physics. After graduation, I found an opportunity at Active Concepts and discovered how cool cosmetic science is while working in the R&D lab. Almost 3 years later, I'm still here, now as the product development manager. I lead our team of R&D scientists to create exciting new active ingredients to be used in skincare and hair care formulations.
What an amazing background, Grant. Thank you for illustrating this. What do you think about a brief introduction to some numbers related to hair and hair follicles?
Yeah, let's get started. To begin with, most humans have between 2 and 5 million hair follicles. 100,000 of these follicles are found on the head, with the rest of them located on the arms, legs, face, chest, and other areas. Normal hair shedding causes most people to lose between 50 and 100 hairs per day. The hair on your head grows about 6 inches per year, which means that your hair grows about half an inch each month. Of course, this is an average, and everyone's results will vary slightly. Even though losing hair is a normal part of aging, there are environmental factors that can change this controlled growth cycle, leading to excessive hair loss or growth in undesirable and/or abnormal locations. These factors include topical personal care products, nutritional deficiencies, hormones, stress, illness, medications, aging, and genetics.
Thank you for providing such valuable information. This will help customers and brands understand why hair care and hair growth are such hot topics these days. This will also help customers better understand the test we'll be discussing today, the In-Vitro hair shaft elongation assay. Could you please provide some background information on this test, Grant? I'm eager to learn more about its mission and methodology.
In order to better explain the purpose of this assay, we should clarify how the natural hair cycle works. 3 phases are associated with hair growth: anagen, the growth phase; catagen, the transitional phase; and telogen, the resting phase. The anagen phase is marked by active growth. It lasts between 2 and 8 years, which means this is how long a hair will continue to grow on your head, while the catagen phase is a transition period that takes place over a period of 2 to 3 weeks. It signifies a transition from growth to quiescence. The telogen phase is defined by dormant hair follicles. It continues for a period of 3 to 4 months, during which no new growth takes place. At the end of this process, a new hair grows, pushing the old one out of the follicle. The natural process of hair loss keeps going. In your lifetime, each individual follicle will go through this cycle about 10 to 30 times.
Sounds incredible. Would you kindly provide more information about the anagen, which is presumably the most significant phase?
Your hair continues to grow longer during the 2 to 6 year anagen or growth phase. During the anagen phase, active hair growth occurs inside the hair bulb of the hair follicle, causing the keratinized hair shaft to lengthen.
Well, I can imagine that the anagen phase is critical to maintain health and full hair, and I'm sure it's a key word in our hair shaft elongation assay.
Exactly. Despite the numerous factors contributing to hair growth in the highly regulated growth cycle, thanks to the In-Vitro hair shaft elongation assay, we want to demonstrate that exogenous compounds, such as cosmetic active ingredients, have the ability to alter growth rates.
It's captivating and encouraging to know that we can improve our hair growth by using specific cosmetic raw materials. But please proceed with your technical explanation of how this test is conducted.
Sure. I'm delighted to share it with you. Hair follicles in the anagen phase are plucked from the scalps of male volunteers and cultured after that hair follicle length is measured.
To conduct the test, all hair follicle must be in the anagen phase?
Yes, it's required because the hair grows during the anagen period, which causes significant changes at the cellular level. This means that we can still simulate hair growth.
I might ask you another question. Why do we need to have our hair follicles plucked? Can we use hair that has been cut or that has fallen out?
Provided plucked hair follicles contain viable follicular stem cells that exhibit proliferative and differentiation properties.
I see. And how can the hair shaft elongation be calculated in vitro? How do you proceed about doing it?
5 healthy males aged 18 to 40 had their scalp hair plucked. Hair follicles in the anagen phase are isolated with watchmaker's forceps and must have an intact bulb. In 500 liters of complete media, the plucked hair follicles are kept free-floating in individual wells of a 24-well microplate. Hair follicles are immersed in complete media, or 0.01%, 0.1%, and 1% concentrations of the ingredient to be tested for its potential hair growth properties in combination with the complete media. All follicles were cultured at 37 degrees Celsius for 10 days, with media changed every 72 hours.
Interesting. I'm curious how we can tell if it performed well.
We are able to obtain images of each hair follicle under a light microscope with a 4 times objective lens immediately after plucking and after the 10-day culture period. Hair follicle length, defined as the distance from the base of the bulb to the end of the shaft, is assessed using image software.
So how can we see the actual improvement in the image?
We have lab images that show you the hair follicles. The increase in hair shaft length is triggered by the production of a keratinized hair shaft and the control or complete media performed as expected. We have positive results of hair follicles treated with the test ingredient at concentrations of 0.01%, 0.1%, and 1% grew faster than untreated hair follicles. This means that increases in hair shaft length or hair follicle growth are attributable to the production of a keratinized hair shaft.
Do you also perform percentage calculation to mathematically represent and clarify this improvement?
Yes, hair shaft growth is calculated by subtracting follicle length at isolation from follicle length at day 10, is expressed in millimeters by dividing the total shaft length, which is exported in pixels, by a conversion factor of a given number of pixels per millimeter. Replicates for each condition are averaged, and data is displayed as the average hair shaft growth for all volunteers.
How can we put these in vitro tests into practice? I suppose it's a question that many brands are asking right now.
Culturing plucked hair follicles is a reproducible and quantifiable in vitro method to assess hair follicle growth rate in a controlled system that mimics in vivo hair growth.
Can this assay be used to test any hair care ingredient?
We want to ensure that our ingredients will stimulate hair growth during the anagen phase, so we carefully select our ingredients with this potential.
The in vitro hair shaft elongation assay is potentially significant, as taking care of hair growth does not imply insisting on accelerating or decelerating hair growth. Rather, we should consider it as a part of an overall approach to care for people. Since hair appearance is so crucial, as it can be an indicator of one's health and also plays an important role in society, and because hair loss can cause discomfort and negative feelings, the hair growth industry represents a new market for the personal care industry. The results of this assay could potentially enable brands to determine the next step in the hair growth space. Well, thank you so much, Grant, for your precious collaboration and explanation in this masterclass episode about the in vitro hair shaft elongation assay. Again, this is Grant, our R&D Product Development Manager, and Susan, Technical Marketing Professional at Active Concepts Europe. And see you at the next episode. Bye!